Mm. Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mahesh, are you hosting this class?
Yeah, I am.
The first slide has to be corrected, Mahesh. You can get the corrections from Omkar. The prayer, yeah, the prayer is not written correctly.
Okay, fine.
We have been studying about strengthening the intellect. Strengthening the intellect is done through reflection. Reflection is different from daydreaming. Open your book.
Question on the chat.
Sorry?
There's a question on the chat.
Okay. Sarthak, if we pick up classical texts, they focus on qualities needed in the mind, sadhana chatushtaya, and conveying the absolute truth. And that's what most Vedanta teachers do. That's what all Vedanta teachers do. But Sri Krishna specifically stresses a lot on action, and you too teach us highest philosophy, but ultimately tell us to focus on action. Okay? No, we are not. Nobody is recommending you focus on action. All we are saying is, if your philosophy, whatever it is, does not come forth as action, that means that is not your philosophy. What you do is really what you believe. What is the role of action in purification of mind or reduction of vasanas? I already understand how action strengthens intellect. Oh gosh, action cannot strengthen intellect first. What is the role of action in purification of the mind or reduction of vasanas? There is no correlation between action and purification of mind or reduction of vasanas for the simple reason that anyone.
Gross cannot affect the subtle.
Very good. So there is no such. You you purify your mind by having a higher vision, by moving from selfish to unselfish. Now, when you're trying to be unselfish, but you're saying, I'm sitting in my room and being unselfish, that doesn't, what is that even supposed to mean? So, therefore, if you've understood that selfishness is an acid in yourself, is a poison in yourself, we've understood this, then your actions will become unselfish. So, it's not that your unselfish actions are purifying the mind. It is that your comprehension of this idea makes your mind not want to, I mean, it doesn't understand now. The mind has lost its capacity to be selfish to the extent it has understood this, and therefore action is automatically unselfish. And you don't know any other way of doing it. It's like you've understood, I don't know, correct grammar in English. You don't know any other way of speaking now. If you naturally speak with correct grammar, how do you make yourself speak with incorrect grammar? Because you've understood something. You've understood 2 plus 2 is 4, so it can't be that the sabzi wala tells you I'll give you 2 apples today and I'll give you 1 tomorrow, and now you have 4. No, I don't. I have 3. Once you understood it, how can your actions be any different? So, what is the role of action in purification of the mind? It has no role. Then why are we told to do action? When we are told to do action, a particular kind of action, it is to create a conducive environment. Every one of us is selfish or unselfish to some extent. So if you keep working in your sadhana, so now you are in an ashram, they will send you to do some seva, they will send you out to do some service, all that they will make you do. So sometimes your mind is like, yaar, mera sir nahi khao, let me live my own selfish life. So they make go do service, go do seva first. So that's not really being unselfish, but like forced. Now, why do we do that? That is because it creates a conducive environment. Suppose you went off and you were, I don't know, indulging in something, or I don't know, watching Durandar, I don't know, whatever it is people are doing. Then the mind gets sort of starts going in that direction. So when we are living a life of seva, it creates a sort of conducive environment for further reflection, for further thinking. So, but that is not that the actions are influencing the mind. That is just the mind itself creating a sort of field to function in. Like if your whole room is so dirty and messy, how can you study in that room, right? So first, clean your room. And when you clean your room and it's all neat and clean, then you feel nice. Now you sit down and study. So how did cleaning my room affect my mind? No, it didn't. It just created an environment. Okay, is that clear? So two basic points. One is mind is purified when the intellect understands something. Okay, then what are you made to do these actions for? It's just creating a conducive environment for that comprehension. So,
Thank you.
so what we were studying is that you have to strengthen the intellect. That's your job in life. As a human being, that is your primary job. Because if you notice, as a human being, you're a pretty useless thing. I mean, can you run faster than the cheetah? Can you scratch as well as the cat? Can you, I don't know, smell as well as a dog? Can you fly as well as a hummingbird? You're pretty much a useless creature. I mean, you're a very, very mediocre thing as a human being. Kuch nahi aata, kuch nahi kar sakte. When you are born, you cannot even feed yourself. For a long time, you cannot feed yourself. It's not like, okay, first day you couldn't. You look in the jungle, you look at the, what is this? What is that? Nat Geo and all, and whatever all these TV programs they have on wildlife. It's an amazing thing. The whatever, the young of the animal is just born and it makes its way to wherever it's to get milk. A human body, a child just born, completely stupid. Taddan backward. Taddan backward. When the taddan backward means, it is a Parsi phrase. Parsis say that. Taddan backward means completely backward, not capable of, anything. Taddan backward che. No, and human child so stupid. Not not just stupid human children, all human children. Even Einstein, when he was born, did he know what to do, how to keep himself alive? Every animal knows how to keep themselves alive, right? So stupid creature. These animals, you have no ability that the other animals have. Then what's so great about being a human being? Only one thing, that you have an intellect. Everything else is inferior to animals. This is the only thing you have. Because of this one thing, you have conquered the skies. You have, it's always, I don't know whether it ever occurs to you. When you go on a flight, especially people who have to go all the time on some flight, it is, people use it as a time to sleep, as a time to catch up with something. Bored stiff. Everybody on the flight is bored stiff. You look, people are like, when is this getting over? Everybody. Nobody thinks that I am actually flying in this aircraft. This is the miracle of the intellect. Can you believe that? If a bird has to fly, how much effort that bird has to put? Some of the birds, they come from North Pole to equator, they come. And then they go up again. Can you imagine what a distance and what effort? If you and I have to go from one end to the other, we will go, we will sleep, we'll be bored, we'll watch a movie. Maximum movies I watch on the long distance flights. What else are you supposed to do? Bored stiff. So, can you imagine that? That's a miracle, no? The miracle of the human intellect. That you and I can talk to each other. I have never met Wendy in my life, and she has never met me. But we can exchange thoughts. Before, when did I meet Deepraj? I think I met you first as Rishi Hood, no? Imagine, I knew
Yes.
Deepraj for so many years before I actually met him. I was like, oh my God, you're Deepraj. I mean, I don't know, am I meeting somebody new or am I meeting somebody old? I don't know because now I already know him, but I've never met him. It's very confusing, no? Now, do I like say, oh, I met a new person, or do I say I met an old person? The first one makes no sense, and the second one makes no sense. All of this is the miracle of the intellect. And instead of human beings focusing their minds on how to develop this, the only thing they have, they're busy with everything else. If you tell somebody, come and join the course, they will give you a list of things they're doing. If, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. What about intellect? No, I have it. Don't worry. I'm a human being. No, I have intellect. Okay, you have, then you have. मैं क्या करूं? So Wendy, मैं क्या करूं means what should I do? So as long as you're in front of me, Wendy, I can remember to translate all this. So the so how do we develop? There's only one way, unfortunately. I wish there was another way. Because the way of developing the intellect is really bugging. Sit down and reflect. Think. The only way to develop a muscle is to use it. Bharat has massive biceps. Fat biceps he has like that. Fat means not fat. I don't know what you call them. Big biceps. Now, why does he have such big biceps? Why don't you and I have big biceps like that? What?
He
Because
used
you
them.
haven't developed them.
Yeah. We have not used them. We have not developed them. We have not exercised them. So our biceps are what they are, and his biceps are what they are. So the moment you start using it, it becomes different. It's a living organism. If you start using it, it grows and develops. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's a very interesting idea to think. Do people lose their abilities as they grow older, or do they grow older because they're not using their abilities? That's an interesting idea to sort of think about. Do you know at what age old age starts? Old age, by old age, I mean your body starts deteriorating. Do you know at what age?
70?
So it is.
I mean, I'm sure there are different figures on this, but last I heard, they used to say 25. Your old age has started at 25. At 75, you're saying I'm old. Then what were you from 20 to 75? 50 years you didn't notice. So what is the use of saying I'm old now? Sorry, Deep Raj, you just found out. What is the use? It's 75 people say I'm old, I'm old. I didn't know you were old at 25. But at 25, you feel like you'll do something. So you do it. At 75, you don't feel I'm going to do something, so you don't do it. But those people who feel I should do it, do it. Have you not seen that? Time and time again, all those elderly people who felt I have to do something went out and did it. There was, what is his name? Fauji. What is his name? Fauji Khan. Fauji Singh.
Fauja Singh.
What?
Fauja Singh.
Fauja Singh. 104 is running marathons. Grandma Moses, 84, she picked up her first paintbrush. So, moral of our story is?
You grow old when you stop using the internet.
Oh, you got tricked very badly. Moral of our story is?
Develop the intellect.
Development. If we start using it,
Okay. Say it properly.
You
if we
don't
start
use you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right.
Yes.
All this old age is only a rabbit's hole you're taken down. Do not lose the focus. What are we discussing? That intellect has to be built. It is not being built because it is not being
use.
Used.
used. Very good. And what is the use? It is reflection. If you don't do it, sorry, it won't grow. I'm just very sorry. What can I do? If I could pray to God and say, let these people's intellect grow, even though they don't reflect, I'll pray and say it. But there is no God on this world that can make this happen. Use it or lose it. So if you're not getting up in the morning and reflecting every single day, you lose it. It's gone. It's gayab. It's disappeared. Before you know what happened. So therefore, reflect. What is reflect? It is not merely mechanically repeating all the thoughts you always had forever, but to take any thought which you have and reconsider whether it's true or false. Is it true? I have to earn money. Is it true? I'm not suggesting it is false. I'm saying, should we not examine whether it is true? I have to get married. I have to take care of my business. Is it true? If we could examine our thoughts, how different would our life be? Because why would our life be different if our thoughts were examined?
Because our life is determined by our thoughts.
Very good.
Can we equate it to a fresh flow of thoughts?
You can, but it's more examining thoughts.
Yeah, but that we say stagnation means you're degenerating, but here fresh flow of thoughts, you are deriving strength, life into you. So that we can also call it a fresh flow of thoughts.
Yeah, you can. You can say that, but that is not explanatory in the sense, okay, if you understand it, you understand it. But if you don't understand it, then it doesn't tell a person what am I supposed to do? It's supposed to re-examine. Look at it again. Think about it again. Fresh means any new thought. Any new thought. But no, you can take the very old thoughts and look at them again. So Yeah, examine. And the best way to do that is when people disagree with you, stop and listen to them for heaven's sake. Because that's your only chance. Otherwise, me and my greatness, there is no end to this. Keep learning, go to a teacher, keep learning. There's nothing like being with a teacher because the teacher has no compunction saying bad things about you. They will tell you all the bad things of the world. I also now, recently, I undertook a teacher. Today she gave me a list of 7 things that I do wrong. Okay, thank you very much. What do you do? If you want to learn, you better gulp it and take it. But the moment we are told something is wrong with us, instead of changing ourselves, the easier method is change the teacher. That is the easy way to do this. Change the teacher. Next person will be polite to you first 2 days, and after that, again, they'll start beating you up. If I have to learn something, then I have to be willing to know that I'm doing it wrong. Otherwise, how am I supposed to learn it? How am I supposed to change? So the more one reflects, the more one maybe I know now all of y'all are thinking, what am I learning? I will tell you what I'm learning. I think most of y'all already know. I'm learning a field called marketing. As far as I've understood, the reason we are not being able to communicate our message is because we are no good at marketing. So 1 year I spent trying to get somebody, please do some marketing for us. Nobody did anything. I mean, they did whatever they did, no results. So I said, okay, I will learn it myself. So now I've started learning and executing whatever they say. I mean, the same number of people in class, so I can't think my method of marketing is working very well, but whatever. It's 16 days. I told my coach today, it's 16 days, no change, zero change, everything is just the same. She says, wait for at least 1 month. Okay, chalo, 16 days. Another 14 days to go. And we will see whether all this learning marketing has brought any result or not brought any result. I have got our Bhavna saying that, oh, this is looking nice. Deeprad saying, oh, this is interesting. That's all. Everybody else is ignoring us as they used to ignore us before. Did you all see? Have you all noticed any difference? Anywhere? Have you all seen anything different in the functioning of this institution other than Bhavna and Deepraj? Anybody has seen, noticed? No, nothing's useless. Trying to do marketing is a useless activity. Nobody has noticed anything different, right?
No, notice, ma'am, actually.
You know.
Last, I think 2-3 weeks, the reels are coming and interested, like, whether you want to join class or even academy. So it's like, good, I'm just seeing, I see the difference.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Chalo, some feedback. Today, my coach gave me all the list of 7 things that I have to improve upon. I said, tell me one thing at least that I'm doing correctly. Everything is wrong only. She doesn't tell me one good thing. One thing, please tell me that I'm doing correctly. So she said, very strange thing. She said, you're very calming. Oh, okay. I thought marketing was supposed to be the opposite of calming. Too complicated. Anyway, I'm following my instructions. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And at least now I know Bhavna, Deepraj, and Amarandar have seen something. I hope in due course somebody else will also see something. But so just learning is not easy, especially if you've never done something in your life like that. Never ever done it. But you have to learn it. If you want to get somewhere where you have never gone before, you will have to do something which you have never done before. If you keep on saying, I don't do it, then you stay where you are. I don't do it means what? If it's necessary, please do it. And at the moment, it's necessary. So we will do it, whatever it takes to get us to our goal. We are going to do that thing and have no preferences. I'll do this, I won't do this, I like this, I don't like this, this is comfortable, this is uncomfortable. Do not look. Whatever needs to be done, needs to be done. Now, if you're able to look at every thought that you've had, see in Vedanta, how different, no, the whole marketing world and Vedanta world are two different worlds. They talk over there as if the one thing you have to get is money. They say, oh, do this much, you get this. I don't want money. I want students in the course. This is what I want. Not that I don't want money. I should not say that. But you need students in the course and good students.
Janki ji, the marketing means communicating the importance of intellect to the large group of people.
Oh my God, I've done that 40 years. It brought me nothing. Therefore, now I've given that up. I am now following instructions from people who know what to say. There's no intellect, no nothing is being mentioned, as you can see. No intellect. You tell people intellect, they will run away from you. So, no, intellect is only mentioned. So, first you have to do top of the funnel. Then you have to do middle of the funnel. Then you have to do bottom of the funnel. And do. First, you have to get a wide audience. Then you have to get to the middle portion. Then you have to get to the actual bottom. Okay, we'll do what it takes, whatever it takes. But what is the point? Have you all remember what is the point?
Yeah, to do something new, you have to learn something.
No, Deepraj. You are not focusing today. What is the point?
Re-examine the thought.
I can't hear you.
Re-examine the thought.
Very good. Re-examine whatever thought you had. If you are being kept behind, if you're not going at the rate you would have liked to go, then you have to examine what in yourself is not allowing it. Because the world cannot stop you. It has no ability to do that. But you can stop yourself. So you have to know what is that inhibiting thought you have. What is that which you're conditioned to do, which when it was necessary to do that thing, you did not do it. You got to know that thing. And you can't do it unless you develop your intellect, unless you're willing for change, unless you're willing to look at things again. As long as you're staying in the comfort zone, whatever intellect you have will be very good until
Something new comes up.
Something new comes up. So if you don't go out of your way and get new challenges for yourself, which you can then take whatever course of action you want, you stay where you are. Things will come at you. So you better learn to go out there and take on another challenge. The personality has to become pliable. Pliable means you're able to do what needs to be done. This is the bottom line of Vedanta. You're able to do what needs to be done. But no, I don't want to. I'm very comfortable where I am. Why should I? Why should I? Well, then don't do and see what happens. So the moment you're able to re-examine your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own notions, the way you behave in the world changes. And when the way you behave changes, what you get changes. Your results change. There's no other way to do it. People want to be the same person and achieve something more. It can't be done. To do something more, you have to be something. Your own inherent potential has to come out. And hopefully that inherent potential will come out for the benefit of the world. See, most people say silly things like, oh, it's okay, I'm quite comfortable. Why should I do anything? Why should you do anything? Do you realize there are wars on here? Do you realize that there are people in starvation and penury? There are people suffering and miserable. And you have this question, why should I do anything? Because I'm comfortable. There's this lovely saying, that if you, they came for for the neighboring country, but I was fine, so I said nothing. They came for the neighboring state, but I was fine, so I said nothing. They came for the neighboring house, but I was fine, so I said nothing. But then they came for me. That is life. If I am not concerned with the well being of my fellow beings, then what am I here for? What is the sense of my saying myself is the one self in all beings, but feel nothing that others are suffering? How is this even possible? Myself is the one self in all beings. Every being is me. If you get that, then you will want that whatever resources you have at your command, you will make the best use of them for the well-being of everybody. For which you have to step out of your personality as and when needed. Now, every day you don't have to become different. Now, suddenly next time we see Narendra Singh Negi come as a hippie. He says, oh, I have to do something different. And he's, grown long hair and I don't know, painted it purple or something. I don't know what. Or worn large earrings. Or made some holes over here. That is not change. Change is what did you change inside yourself? Outside you can stay the same. Now, to get that, you have to be willing to reflect, to think, to re-examine your own thoughts, the thoughts that you are being exposed to right now, everything that you're hearing. Are you able to examine it, to say, why is it true? Under what conditions is it true? Why does it necessarily have to be true? Or why does it necessarily have to be false? How does it fit in the whole picture? Because you don't want a philosophy where you have one piece from here and one piece from there. You want a philosophy which is fully constructed. And Swamiji has done human service. I mean, I don't know without him how you can have a philosophy that is fully constructed. It's not that he's saying anything different from what everybody else is saying. All Vedanta teachers are going to say exactly the same thing. But I don't know what you think, but according to me, he's done an amazing job of showing the whole picture, which is incredible. You see all the various pieces, how they fit together. Swamiji's structure is incredible, yes. But now it's for us. The onus is on us to take it forward, to do whatever we can do to take this forward and let the whole world benefit from it. It's free. It was freely available to us. It should be freely available to everybody. So, wherever we were at, you have to learn how to re-examine very carefully. When you re-examine it, when you look at things again, you then see what you should do and what you shouldn't do. What was valid in one circumstance and situation will no longer be valid in some other circumstance and situation. And that is the great advantage of reflection. So gaining knowledge, first step, listen. Second step, reflect. And third state, meditate upon it. Meditation upon it is silence with that knowledge. It's an incredible idea, right? First you listen, then you reflect, and then you say silent. So it's a beautiful, it's conceptually very beautiful because this is obviously written by people who took education very seriously. Normally in education, what do? They just pump you with information. And once you are able to repeat that information, now you've done well. But in India, education was meant to not repeat that information, but to create character, to be a different person. So, first you listen, then you think, then you just keep quiet. It is, you see this in the lives of almost all the great sages and saints, even in the life of Christ. I don't know if you're familiar. He went away. He was nowhere to be seen for many years, 7 years, I think. Nobody has any idea where he was. Even with Buddha, they had to go away. Just go away. And you think. And you keep quiet. A life of solitude. You you're thinking as you should, and then you're leaving it alone. Think till you go mad. Leave it alone. And then eventually you are a bit different person. How, when, why, where, nobody can predict. It is all lage raho mimmunna bai. It is just like marketing. You keep doing the steps, whatever they've told you. Just keep doing. One day, hopefully, that it will change. It's like a kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope, you look at it, a beautiful image, and you turn it, and there's a completely different thing. But when will that thing come? Nobody knows. So, what happens as a consequence of this? When you say, I have gained character, what have you gained? You've gained the capacity to do the right action. The capacity to do the right action is called control of the mind. Control of the mind is not what you get when you're sitting down, but control of the mind is that your action is dictated by what is necessary, not by what I want. So that's the stage you have to get at. And if you can get at that, then fantastic. You have achieved Shreya. Shreya means you do good to yourself and you do good to others. That's why Vivekananda says, conquer the mind, said Vivekananda. You conquer the world. Can you imagine that? Nobody can affect you. Nobody can take you off course. Nobody can do anything to you. You conquer your mind and nobody has any effect on you. Conquer the mind, said Vivekananda. You conquer the world. Man jeete, jag jeet. Win over the mind, you win over the world, said Guru Nanak. We are victimized by the world and its fluctuations because we are victims of our minds. Don't you think that's a wonderful concept? We are victimized by the world because we are victimized by our mind. If I'm not victimized by my mind, the world can do nothing to me. Who can give me an example? Give me an example that I'm victimized by the world because I'm victimized by my own mind. Some example?
My let's say my girlfriend is not calling me, right? That is because I am constantly thinking of her, not that because she is not calling me.
Okay. My girlfriend is not calling me and I'm getting all worked up. Is not because she's not calling me, but because I can't control my mind. If I can control my mind, she will be chasing me. Believe it or not. Losing a loved one. These are very, very difficult examples. Losing a loved one. It will hit you. When you lose somebody who you care deeply about, it will hit you so bad. So if you're not in governance of the mind, then what happens is the mind will keep repeating it. When you lose somebody who is dear to you, it's a lot. Only yesterday, one boy called me up. Some unknown number, I got a call. Who's calling me? Got a call. So this boy told me, Please sit down. What? What do you mean, please sit down? What are you talking about? He said, I wanted to tell you I am the son of so and so, and I want to tell you that she's not only a student of our class, but also was in school with me, 1 year older than me. And so I want to tell you that she has passed away and she was remembering you. So I wanted to let you know that. That's quite a shock, right? Suddenly, your school girl, student of the class, 1 year older than you, it was quite a shock. Really? Oh, really? Like, what? Last I heard, she was perfectly all right. So whatever happened. Now, it is the nature of the mind to react to this. It takes a minute, right, to wrap your head around this thing. But the nature of the mind is that after some time, that sort of ceases. But if your mind is uncontrolled, it repeats and repeats and repeats, and then people pull themselves down. One girl left a boy. Now, hundreds and thousands and billions of times this must have happened. Have you ever cried? Some girl left some boy. But if some girl left me, I can go on repeating till doomsday. There are people who have committed suicide with it, people who have lost their lives in this. So when we are not in control of our mind, the world victimizes us. Once one of our class members brought her actual grandchild. The child was growing too tall. She was taller than the boys in the class and all the girls in the class, which according to me is a great thing, right? Most of us who are short would say, oh, height and all, so good. But she was so upset by it. She wouldn't study. She wouldn't go to school. She wouldn't talk to anyone. She just locks herself up in the room because she's too tall. You think that growing too tall is it such a bad thing after all? The world victimizes us because we are victimized by our mind. This is a man jeete, jat jeete. Rama can lose a kingdom, but he doesn't lose his mind. We lose a hairpin, but we lose our mind. So, man jeete, jat jeete. We are victimized by the world and its fluctuations because we are victims of our minds. The cure is strengthening the intellect. Since the intellect is subtler than the mind, a little intellect can control the mind like the little flange, the raised edge, keeps the train on the tracks. This is another very important idea that we have to. You need such a little bit of intellect to control this madness of the mind. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. So that's the example of the flange that keeps the train on the track, that it's got that little edge. So it keeps the wheel on the track. And it's so tiny. What is the size of the train? What is the size of the flange? Keeps it there. So you don't need a lot of intellect. Why don't you need a lot of intellect?
Because it's subtler than the mind.
Because it's subtler. You have a subtler tool. It's like saying, if you have a nuclear bomb, you don't need a lot of it. Because it's subtler. So, if 2% of the people of this world, just 2% have an intellect, our world will be in harmony. People keep saying, Jayashri looks after CSR, na? So in CSR, all the time, how many people are you impacting? So we say we want 10, 12 students in the course. So they say, what is the use of 10, 12 students? What are you going to do? Scale. Where is your scale? Where is your impact? Now, how to explain to anybody? Can I tell them it's like the flange on the train? They will throw me out of the office. Impossible to explain this. You need 10% of our, 2% of our people to have an intellect. The whole world will be taken care of. Imagine if every extended family, there was just one person who used his head. The whole world will be taken care of. Don't have to worry. One person here, one person there, everything will be kept. So when we say impact, they think we are impacting the students. Okay, we are impacting the students. But what is the real impact is what impact that student will have. Imagine Swamiji studied Vedanta. Okay. Now, what is the impact he has had? He has had maybe like 200-300 students study at, I don't know how many, what the number would be. How many courses? It's a 3-year course, right? And it's 40 years. So Deepraj, tell us. It's 40 years, a 3-year course, and let's take an average of 30 students per course. How many people have done the course? That 13 courses, okay. 13 into 30, how much? Why is Bharat becoming so
390.
mathematical? How much? 390.
390.
400 people. Let us say 400 people have done the course. So you would say, what is the impact he's had? But is his impact restricted to those 400 who did the course? In 40 years, if 400 people learn seriously from him, isn't that an amazing achievement? And actually, in number, it's nothing. But imagine the impact. How many people have been impacted by that? Once in class, somebody told us, no, that he was in the garden. Somebody unknown was upset or something. And so he said something to that person. And then that person felt better and went home. Right? Now, he has studied from a student of Swamiji. Remember, I know he was there in class. I don't know how many of you were there that time. And he has spoken to that lady who was upset about something. And she was okay later on and she went home. Can you imagine how many people that has impacted? When she went home, she did not fight with whoever she was fighting with. Let's say she was having a quarrel with her husband. So she and her husband are not quarreling. Children are happy. Because she and her husband are not quarreling, next day he goes to office and he's not quarreling with anyone. You know how it's like a chain reaction. And this is just a garden conversation with somebody. We have a powerful tool with us. If only we knew what the power of what we had. We have a very powerful tool with us. So you don't need a lot of it.
Can we equate it, Janaki, can we equate it to lever principle? With doing minimum, you attain maximum.
What principle did you call it?
Lever, physics lever principle. No, you apply a little effort, you attain maximum.
Okay.
There's an efficiency in the action.
Yes. There's a lot of. Yes, you can say that. But you have to know where to apply that pressure.
Yeah.
Where are you going to put the lever? That is the only thing that makes the big difference in the world. It's an incredible thing, and we don't know how to tell people, but we are learning. We will learn the skill of marketing so that we can tell people what it's all about. Since the intellect is subtler than the mind, the little intellect can control the mind like the little flange, the raised edge keeps the train on the tracks. And intellect, developed by the process of knowledge, controls the vast vagaries of the mind. Imagine what all the mind is capable of, where all it's capable of going, what all addictions it's capable of, what all nonsense it is capable of. Think of all the millions of things. But a little intellect soothes it all. The intellect, which governs the mind, directs the events in the environment, and becomes a conscious creator of results. By dexterous management of the present, the intellect governs the future. Can you to think? One is you're taking care of what is happening now. But because you're doing it so well, you've taken care of the future. Imagine if every decision you were taking right, what is your future going to be? But for that, you need an intellect. For that, you need to understand how important intellect is. Then you must be willing to put in the work. Because eventually it is the boring work that gets you the results. It is not the motivation. It is not the solace you get in class. It is not all that. It is the boring work that gives you actual result. Okay, so this topic was strengthening the intellect. How is it strengthened? Through reflection. What is the consequence? You control the mind. What is the consequence of that? You handle all the events in the present, and by that capacity, you handle the events of the future. If you've done everything right today, your future is safe. Awakening the intellect. First, it must wake up. Our intellect is asleep. It is awoken with knowledge. We are all living blind lives. When we get exposed to knowledge, we start, oh, aisa bhi hai. We start thinking, oh, really? Is it like that also? I didn't ever think of this. As knowledge seeps in, the intellect arises. Such an intellect conceives a higher vision, a clear direction in life. So the real use of the intellect is you're able to have a higher vision. Because if you don't have a higher vision, what are you seeing of the future? It is quite possible to be selfish and use your intellect. But in Vedanta, that is not an acceptable definition of that term. Suppose I'm studying very hard so that I will, get lots of money and I will become rich and I will become famous and this will happen to me and that will happen to me, and for that I'm working. It is use of intellect, but it is shallow use of it. True use of intellect is what's the highest, longest, furthest you can think. That's its true use. And the sharpest intellect is the one that can conceive self-realization. You can conceive that idea. It's incredible. Idea is incredible. So you must be able to conceive it. Then you have to act on it. Long journey. The highest ideal a human can aspire to is self-realization or enlightenment. This is the ultimate. It is considered to be the purpose of human existence. It is a state of complete and unaffected happiness. It is described in the Bhagavad Gita as being like an ocean. No matter how much water is added or removed from the ocean, it remains the same. So too the bliss of self-realization. It is, no matter what they receive or what they lose. Self-realized masters, you can describe this in various ways. You can say they are in complete control of their mind. That's one way of putting it. You can say that they live in an ocean of bliss. Meaning, but all of these are saying the same thing. that nothing that can happen can change the experience they're going through. Now we are in class and we are all happy and calm and everything. Then the class will get over. What happens to our mental state? Suppose your husband and your wife comes to you and says, "हाँ, हो गया आपका Vedanta class." Mental state gone. 1 second it takes. The spouse says, "Oh, okay, lot of Vedanta you're doing. All your pravachan, is it over?" Mental state gone in 1 second, gone. Parak. And if it is gone, then now what did I do in class? So, what is self-realization? Anyone comes to it and says anything. Nothing. And that is shown like, that's what Rama is showing you, no? They took his kingdom away, but they could not take dash away. What?
Intellect.
Okay, you can say that. They took his, in context, they couldn't take what away?
Happiness.
His calmness.
His calmness.
Peace.
His peace. Couldn't take it away. That's a self-realized person. Anyone can take anything from me, but they cannot take my peace. They cannot take my peace because they have no capacity to take it. How will they take it? Only one thing can take my peace. What is that one thing? One word.
Me.
Correct. But what about me?
Desire.
In context, correct. So can you rephrase that, Bharat?
Mind.
Mind. Only one thing in this world is capable of taking my peace away. Though we say this every single class, nobody believes it. Anything happens. My peace is the first victim in that. So what do? I get away from everything so that nobody should affect my peace. No, being trapped is not being peaceful. That's why in the Gita it says, "Yah sarvatrana anabhisneha." He who is everywhere without attachment. He is describing a man of perfection. He's everywhere, he goes everywhere. Nobody has any capacity to touch his peace. Why should he sit by himself? He can go everywhere, he can go anywhere, he can do whatever he wants. Nothing is going to affect his peace because his mind is with him. So there's only one thing in this world capable of affecting our peace, and that is our own mind. Now, self-realized person does not let his mind doesn't do that. His mind is with him. So he has no issues with anything. But this is the highest state, that no matter what happens. Now, we may not all be able to do that. So we can come down a little bit. At least most of the time, we should be able to maintain our peace, or occasionally something will happen. I must tell you, confess to you, when our bank account, the work is going on in the plot, in the bank account, there was 1 lakh of rupees. All the workers were working on the plot. There was just 1 lakh of rupees left. At that stage, I was really worried. We are a service organization. We want to give more than we take. Now these poor workers are working over there and we've had nothing to pay them. That was one of the dark spots. Just one, can you imagine? 1 lakh is left in the bank. That's it. So we may not all of us be at a level where no matter what happens, we can keep our minds going. And at least 99% of the time we can keep our minds okay, no? I have the rest of the time at least be okay. Why don't we try to attempt that? Okay, so that's it today. Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Thank you, Janki
Hey,
ma'am.
Janki ji.
Hari Om.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Janaki.